When it comes to the passengers of the night, there are two competing stories here, both which are very interesting in their value, yet unfortunately, in the competition, they create mutually assured destruction. To summarize the film, after a recent divorce and recovery from breast cancer, Elizabeth finds herself alone with two late aged teens and she's trying to restart her life. She doesn't have much work experience because she dedicated her life to be a homemaker, and originally it's very much a struggle to get a job, especially any kind of job that would allow her to maintain what her children and she is used to. She doesn't find that at a radio station, which takes her on, but at the very least, she finds something that she's passionate about, that she's interested in, and becomes quite good at. This leads her to meet Tallulah, who is a homeless young lady who has a story to tell, and because she's one of the first ones that Elizabeth brought on, she kind of connects with her, bonds with her, and even though she doesn't really know Tallulah besides the story that Tallulah put out there, she invites her into the home for a couple of days. And with no parents and a secret addiction, on top of being homeless, Tallulah is very thankful for this, but she always maintains a sudden air of mystery. She does get close to Elizabeth and also becomes the first love of Elizabeth's son, but even with this connection, even as things become very real and some of Tallulah's secrets are revealed, there's always a sudden barrier up that keeps you engaged and interested in her just as much as Elizabeth starts to move on from being someone's ex-wife to being someone's current girlfriend. Getting into the review, one of the things that kind of challenged us in a way is that Tallulah leaves you wanting so much more that at times it can be difficult to appreciate what Elizabeth is giving you. For with the way that the story is set up, it's not two separate stories, but they're both in the same film. They share space, they have scenes together yet. As Tallulah is this girl who's homeless with no parents, seemingly no friends, beyond this relationship she builds with Elizabeth and Elizabeth's son, it makes you want to know so much what kind of growth can she have, what kind of healing can she have, whether the story that she's told us about being homeless, her parents and all that, is it true or not. And as you get that mystery, you're watching Elizabeth recover from her own trauma when it comes to her husband leaving her, I think, for another woman. On top of that, she's a woman who had breast cancer, never mind had a mastectomy, and she's trying to date again and still feel sexy and feel desirable, all while raising these two children, one who is a political activist in a way, in a time where Elizabeth's not fully comfortable with that, and then at the same time she's raising a son, and a lot of what Elizabeth goes through is not made to be this dramatic, accolade-worthy performance, but something that's meant to be relatable for the audience, even if it's, like in my case, I'm not a woman, the mother, never mind, don't have breast cancer or anything like that, but point of the matter is, you can see this kind of a duel here. You have one young lady in Tallulah who you don't get much about, but you're drawn in because of this mystery. And at the same time, you're given this person named Elizabeth, who's very relatable, not necessarily having their heart on their sleeve, but is giving you the story, giving you the journey, giving you all that you need to get to know her, where she's going and where she's been. And having these two type of characters together in the same film, it keeps having it where your attention is drawn one way no matter what the other one is giving you. And sometimes it does flip where Elizabeth is a bit more interesting than Tallulah, but other times it's not, since Tallulah's story and Elizabeth don't complement each other as much as their adversaries sometimes. Overall, The Passengers of Night leaves us with complicated feelings because the lead has a supporting character that is more so trying to compete with them rather than enhance what is going on in their life. And because of that, sometimes it can feel that Tallulah's story is something that's uncompleted, yet it's the one that's of more interest, while Elizabeth is too slice of life every day for you to really get into it unless you need that kind of representation. And because of this two separate storylines put into the same film, it makes you wish so much that they were actually split apart. It may be that Elizabeth and Tula sometimes cross paths, but existed in their own worlds, even if it is all within the city of, I think it's in Paris or somewhere nearby.